If you're only interested in hearing me talking about Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of the Seventh Son and opening the box and everything, then skip ahead a minute or two, and you can see that. If you're interested in the mundane observations that I make in my life, I'm gonna do one right now because it's in the top of my mind. This just happened less than 5 minutes ago. There's a little store beside my house. It's a store called Merpol, and it's like a convenience store. It's like the size of a convenience store, but it's really got all the things from a grocery store. In addition to snacks and drinks and booze and cigarettes, it also has fresh produce and fresh meat and even a bakery. So I was just there minutes ago. I go there, and I mean it's really right beside my house. It takes me probably 9 seconds to walk there, maybe 12 or 13. It's right beside my house. This doesn't matter. So I was just there. I go there a couple times a day. That was my third trip there today. That was my third trip there already. It's like basically I treat that store as my kitchen. So I was just there, and just a little observation. I've noted this for years. This is the first time I've spoken about it publicly. I went to get some fresh chicken breast, and I asked the woman, and this is not any knock on the woman, just an observation. So I asked her for 250 grams of chicken breast. Now they usually have it pre-cut, and they have all different, one piece is 160, one piece is 90, one piece is, whatever. So I was, get a couple to get me 250, but they didn't have any, so she had to cut it fresh. So I asked her, I said, okay, I want 250. So she cut a piece, and she put it on the scale, and she said, it's 200, is that okay? And I was thinking, and I said, no, I need a little more than that. I need 250. And I thought, 200, that's like really not even close to 250, right? If I wanted 250 and she gives me 200, I'm missing 50 grams. That's, from the original that I want, that's 20% less than what I wanted. And it's 25% of what she's actually giving me. 50 grams missing out of 200. I'm missing 25% if I did the math correctly. So she cut another little piece and she put it on the scale. And this time it was 290, which is now she's almost at 300, and I wanted 250. That's an additional 50 out of an additional 100 out of 250, and an additional 100 out of the 200 that she gave me originally. Anyway, the point is that. And when you get your ham or your salami, pastrami, send a salami to your boy in the army, whatever you get from the deli or wherever. Shouldn't they be better at estimating weight? She was way off. That's my day today. So I'm gonna get to Iron Maiden 7, and I think my math was way off there. She gave me 290, let's say 300, which was 100 grams more than the 200 she gave me originally, which is 50%. So she gave me an extra 50% from what she gave me originally. Anyway, that was maybe the most boring thing I've talked about. As if these videos aren't long enough. So this is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, and this is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Now, before I open it, I'll talk about it. My general feelings on the album. I was disappointed a little bit when this came out. I think I didn't want to admit it. I've talked about this before, that sometimes, when I was a kid or a teenager, and by the way, I'm getting over my cold. I think my voice is getting stronger, and I feel better, but it's still a little bit, I might be a little bit snorty. Sometimes when you're a kid and you really like a band and you're stupid, because you're young and you don't want to admit that one of your favorite bands put out an album that you don't love as much as all their other ones. And I think at the time I was a little bit disappointed in this. And I love it. I think it's one of my, I don't know, in the Iron Maiden ranking, I don't know where I would put it, maybe 4th or 5th, which is pretty good out of 16, 17 albums, however many they have. So it is quite high. But after the run they were on, Somewhere in Time before that, Power Slave before that, Peace of Mind going backwards, Number of the Beast, Killers in the first album, pretty hard to get, any better than that. And I think I also didn't like the album cover. I think it's great on a shirt, But the album cover itself, you think, well, I can separate. The music is this and the album cover is this. But I think there is a thing, because I've noticed that a lot of my favorite albums, I also love the album cover. There are some exceptions. Faith No More has awful album covers and their albums are awesome. So that's one exception. I guess there are also some great album covers. I bought, no, I didn't buy it, but I always wanted to get the Grim Reaper, See You in Hell, based just on, the name of the band, Grim Reaper, See You in Hell, and the album cover. And then when I heard that album, I never bought it, but I thought, oh, this is a real stinker. And Thrust, Fist Held High was another. But I do like it. It is a very good Iron Maiden album. And I saw this tour, the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son tour. I'm getting ready to open it. In Toronto at the CNE Grandstand. That was in May 1988. This album came out at some point early 88, I guess. And a little May 20th, somewhere around there. It was an outdoor show. A little story about that. This is not really related to Iron Maiden directly, but Guns N' Roses was opening that show for Iron Maiden. They opened, I think, across the Canadian leg of that tour. Dallas, I think, also saw Guns N' Roses on that tour. My friend Dallas, maybe he's watching. I think he saw them, or some people I know saw them in Edmonton or Vancouver or whatever. And so before the show, my friend Pete and we were down there early. This was in a CNE Grandstand. It was in a big area called this Canadian National Exhibition, a big fairgrounds, big outdoor place. And we were there early, and we saw Slash. Right now, this was May '88. Guns N' Roses, they weren't huge. Obviously, they were opening for Guns N' Roses. I think this was before Sweet Child of Mine, because after that, they took off. They were known. People knew them, but they weren't mega stars like they would be very shortly after. So we saw Slash riding around the fairgrounds on a bike, like a BMX bike or a mountain bike or something. He was doing wheelies and pedaling with the wheelers or something. So we followed. We were watching him and blah, blah, blah. And then he went kind of to the, it's not a backstage area, but I guess it's the entrance area to, CNE was part of the Blue Jay Stadium at the time, Exhibition Stadium. So we went there and we saw him. He was on his bike, and Duff was there too. And a few people, maybe there were 4 or 5 or 6 people. So we met them. We met Slash and Duff, and we were talking to them. And a couple of things that I remember about that was I used to smoke at the time, and the brand of cigarettes that I smoked was called De Maurier. And so I was smoking a cigarette, and Duff asked me if he said, hey, can I get a cigarette from you? So Duff bummed a cigarette from me. Now neither of us smoke, and we're much healthier and in much better shape, even though we're, 35 years ago? Is that right? About 35 years ago. So he asked me for a cigarette, and he looked at so I gave him the pack, and he took one, and he said, De Maurier. It's De Maurier, because it's French, but Duff said De Maurier. So I gave Duff a cigarette and talked to him for a couple minutes, and I got both of them. I was wearing jeans, and I got them to sign. Very, very, very rare that I get anybody to sign anything, but Slash and Duff each signed a leg of my jeans. I was 18, and then Slash, we were talking to Duff, and we heard Slash over. He was, I don't know, a little bit, 10 feet away or something. And we heard him like yelling, getting mad, and we looked over, and a bird had shit on his shoulder as he was standing there talking to some people. A bird had shit on him. So he said, I'm going to be right back. And he went inside. He came back out wearing a Ride the Lightning shirt, which he ended up wearing when he played the show later that night. So that was cool. That's, again, not Iron Maiden, but related to Iron Maiden in an indirect way. So I'll open this now. I got this quite a while ago. I think I got this close to a month ago. I just haven't got around to it. And it is correct. Seventh son of a seventh son. Good packaging. They all should be packaged like this. See, it has the airspace or air. Well, this is called Air Plus. Another brand is called Airspace. It had this and this. When I talked about Let There Be Rock a week ago or something, it was just the record loose in a box with no interior mailer box, whatever you call these, and no airspace. That was why it was dinged and dented and bent. All right, let's see this. All right, there it is. Maybe I do like this album cover. Now that I see it again, it's very cool. There's no hype sticker or anything, just the record. There it is. There's the back. All right. All right, I can get right to it. I'll open it up and show the guts of it. Sometimes these are more difficult than others. I felt like the maestro in Seinfeld. Remember where he's taking off he has the poster that's rolled up and he's going like this with the elastic band and he finally gets it off. I always thought that was just like an ad-lib in the show, that the actor, Mark, whatever that guy's name is, the maestro, actually really couldn't get it off and he was struggling and went like this and it worked. So this is a glossy edition. I prefer matte if I had my way, but there it is. And inside, I don't remember what the inside of this record looked like. Man, you know what? I do remember this, but very vaguely. I guess this is from the Clairvoyant. I think it was the Clairvoyant had a single. I guess that was it. And yeah, there's the kind of the Black Sabbath Born Again color scheme there. And let's see what the actual record looks like. This is, and I said this with Power Slave and I guess it was Number of the Beast. I don't know. This is very sturdy. This inside dust jacket is very sturdy. It's not just like regular paper. It's very durable, it seems. And there's the record and the label. Very nice, very nice. All right, so I'll go through this track by track now. I think many people would consider this Iron Maiden's last classic album. Maybe not their last great album. Definitely not their last good album, but maybe the last one that's considered like a true classic, where they've had songs that have... No, I was going to say where they've had songs that have maintained themselves in the set list all these years, but Fear of the Dark, the song has been in the set list ever since that album came out, and I don't think that album is very good. But I think most Iron Maiden fans would consider this a classic. And the first song is Moonchild, and oh my God, Moonchild is maybe... I've mentioned before that the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, or just Rime, it's not the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Rime of the Ancient Mariner is not just my favorite Iron Maiden song ever, but of all the songs I've ever heard, Rime of the Ancient Mariner is my favorite. Moonchild, it's probably my second favorite Iron Maiden song. Maybe Power Slave. I don't like keep a list or anything, but oh my God, Moonchild, Aces High. No, I think I like Moonchild even better than Aces High. Oh, what a song Moonchild is. That acoustic guitar, very rare to hear acoustic guitar, especially at that point under an Iron Maiden record. 7 Deadly Sins, 7 Ways to Win, 7 Bloody Paths to Hell. 7 Deadly Sins, 7 Ways to Win, 7 Bloody... How can I not know the lyrics? 7 Deadly Sins, 7 Ways to Win, 7 Holy Paths to Hell, and your trip begins. 7 downward slopes, 7 bloodied hopes, 7 are your burning fires, 7 your desires. I am he, the bornless one, that fallen angel watching you. Babylon, the scarlet whore, I'll infiltrate your gratitude. Don't you dare to save your son. Kill him now and save the young one. Be the mother of a birth-strangled babe. Be the devil's own. Lucifer's my name. Oh my God, what a fucking awesome song that is. Moonchild is just amazing, and I was so happy that they brought that back. I've seen them do it on 2 tours recently, relatively recently. They did it in the first song of the encore of the 2008 Somewhere Back in Time tour, and they actually played it with the acoustic intro, which they had never done when they did it originally on this tour. It was pre-taped, just like Churchill's speech and For Eternity Will Fail. A lot of songs that they open with, they have on tape, the intros. And then they did it on the Maiden England tour, which was kind of a somewhat of a reimagination of this album and this tour. They open with it again. So I've seen them do that on 1, 2, 3 tours. Very cool. Moonchild is can't say enough about that. Infinite Dreams is next. I'm surprised that they haven't brought this back over the years. As far as I know, they haven't played it since this tour. And I think it's considered a fan favorite. Does everybody like Infinite Dreams? If you're an Iron Maiden fan, I think you do. I think Infinite Dreams is great. It's it has that kind of mellow start, and then it gets a little bit heavier, and now it gets rough, as Paul Stanley says. And I know Iron Maiden, Steve Harris even said, I don't know, a week ago or something, last week in an interview, that when they put set lists together, he said they don't consider the fans, because I guess the guy interviewing him said, "Oh, did you add Alexander the Great to the current set list because of fan pressure?" And he said, "You know what? We don't really consider that. We just kind of think what we want to do," which I think is, I'm sure, somewhat true. But I think they know that everybody wanted to hear Alexander the Great. But I would love it if they, at some point in their careers, before they're done, I would love it if they added Infinite Dreams to the set list, because that song is excellent too. Can I Play With Madness is next. This was why I was a little bit disappointed when I first heard this. It was, I like the song, but when I first heard it, it's very, it's melodic. It's, it's kind of a short song. I think it's 3.5, or I think it's less than 4 minutes. And it had, I think, some notable keyboards in it, which Somewhere in Time had keyboards before that. I don't know how long Can I Play With Madness. This doesn't have the running times of the songs, but it's less than 4 minutes for sure. And it was just kind of a happy sounding song, melodic. Oh, and the keyboards were in the chorus. Can I play with madness? And the prophet looked and he laughed at me. The keyboards were on there. I didn't really like that. But I loved, there were keyboards on, as I said, on Somewhere in Time. And I didn't have any problem with that. So it's not that I don't like keyboards as a principle, because also on Book of Souls there were a lot of keyboards, which I loved. But on Senjutsu, I mostly don't like them. So maybe I'm just picky about keyboards. But no, I do like Can I Play With Madness now. And I had that single, when that came out as a single, I had a picture disc of that. There was a really unique picture disc because it was, instead of being around like a typical record, it was cut. If you remember the cover of Can I Play With Madness, that had Eddie, his head with a fist going through it, I think. And the record, the single, was cut in the shape, so it was this weird shape. I gave that to my friend Jason Satterfield, a long time ago, in 2006 in Cleveland. We were there to see Pearl Jam together, and I gave him a lot of stuff. The Evil That Men Do is next. This is the last song on side 1. That's one that they've done, I think, on quite a few tours. I've seen them do that maybe on a couple of tours recently. Yeah, that's a pretty good song. And I'll point to this as one that I know Iron Maiden haters, especially the guys who claim that they used to love Iron Maiden, the old guys, maybe older than me, maybe younger than me, that complain about modern Iron Maiden because they just repeat the choruses all again. They've been doing that forever. The evil that men do lives on and on. The evil that men do lives on and on. The evil that men do lives on and on. The evil that men do lives on. They've been doing it. The Trooper, even Wrathchild, because I'm a Wrathchild, because I'm a Wrathchild. They've always had repetitive choruses. This is nothing new. But I like The Evil That Men Do. On the other side, the first song on the other side was the title track, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's another one that they repeat the chorus, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, 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 Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's dedication to a bit. Once I started, I had to go to the end. That's another, I think, a fan favorite, similar to Alexander the Great, which they added earlier a month ago, whenever this current tour started, that fans really wanted. I know fans were very, very happy to hear this song. I think when they played it on the Maiden England tour in 2013. At that point, they hadn't played it since this tour in 1988. So everybody was happy. And I don't love that song the way most people do. It's okay. It has a cool intro. It's very dramatic. It's a very big theatrical song. But after that spoken word part that Bruce does, I don't know, in the middle or whatever it was, it's just basically long instrumental. I kind of wish, and you shouldn't really do this with songs. They should have done this, or I wish they had done this, or with movies. But I feel like, The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner had so many different parts, and then it came back to the end to kind of wrap it up. And I felt like there should have been more vocals, or like another verse or something at the end of all this big instrumentation, but it just kind of goes on and on, the solos, and then that's a song. So I think that's one. Maybe this was even their first song that was unnecessarily long. And I was going to check how long it is, but again, there's no times on these songs. I think it's around 10 minutes, not as long as Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, but pretty long. I think around 10 minutes. So I like it. It's just a little bit too much for me. Next is The Prophecy. That's a good one. I think that had some kind of evil lyrics. I never listened to that one much lyrically, or never learned the lyrics too much. But I think that's the one with Lucifer laughs, hell awaits. Does he say that in The Prophecy? Lucifer smiles, looks on and waits. Purgatory beckons, souls lost forever, life after death or heaven hereafter. Heard the call of the seven whistlers again, now Lucifer laughs, hell awaits. Kind of evil lyrics for Iron Maiden. Number of the Beast notwithstanding, at this point, they were kind of over that, but pretty cool. Yeah, I like The Prophecy. That's maybe the only one on this album that I never really learned the lyrics to. At least, I didn't learn them completely. But I do like it. Next is The Clairvoyant. This is a great song. I like this. This is one I'm also surprised they haven't added. I saw them do this on the 2008 tour, Somewhere Back in Time too. Somewhere Back in Time tour. Feel a sweat break on my brow. That has some keyboards in it too. I don't mind the keyboards in this song. Yeah, good song, good chorus. I won't sing it. There's a time to live and a time to die and a time to meet your maker. There's a time, but isn't it strange? I'm missing a word. There's a time that as soon as you're born, you're dying. I feel reborn again. Yeah, Clairvoyant is an excellent song. And the last song is Only the Good Die Young. Also kind of a shorter, catchier, more melodic song. The demon in your sleep will rape you in your dreams at night. The demon in your mind will rape you in your bed at night. Only the good die young, all the evil seem to live forever. Yeah, good song too. So I think in retrospect, I like this album now better than I did at the time. It's only taken 35 years for me to realize that. But that's it. And I do have, spoiler alert, more Iron Maiden coming up. I don't think I'll do the next. And if you're wondering, which I'm sure you are, I don't have any order of when I do these. Like I said, I got this album a month ago, and I'm just getting to it now. The last episode I did this was Kiss Alive, which I just got the day before. So it's just whatever my taste is at any given point. So I don't know what the next one is going to be. But there are a couple of more Iron Maiden ones in the hopper. For now, that was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.